say it's 11, sir.
Yeah, good. Good morning, KS Rao sir. Can we start the meeting?
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good
Srikanth
morning,
here.
good morning, good morning.
Good. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to all of you and all my investors and all the participants and all my teammates. We welcome you all to our financial empowerment program. And today's our speaker is Mr. K.S. Rao. As a responsible organization, since 1996, we are going to complete 28 years on 23rd May coming month. And right from the beginning, and we adhere and we do our best in empowering the best number of people to benefit through the financial products and through the financial planning. We publish our newsletter. We started 28 years back. It continues, and recently from January 24 onwards, as requested and suggested by investors, why not you have every month the virtual meeting, or once in a year, why not you do physical meeting? So we started that. So from January, it's a fourth in row. So this month being the financial year started, and as K.S. Rao sir wrote a lot of good articles in the various magazines, which really impressed. I requested K.S. Rao sir. He's a veteran in the industry and one among the top 5 mutual fund, 6 mutual fund, where 3.5 lakh crores out of 54 lakh crores they manage, and which to get that, and he does such a the Kumbh Mela, or class to the mass, wherein yesterday I was hearing in the Indian School of Business, and the light the people, youngsters he was addressing about the financial planning and journey and freedom. And again I was hearing 2-3 months back, Varanasi or Ahmedabad and various places doing thousands of people, 1,000-1,500 people doing in a Maga Kumbh way, reaching out the masses. It does a financial literacy. It take forward in a big way, and we resonate as a ECS Financial. We follow Aditya Birla Sun Life, the financial services mutual fund. And so today we have Mr. K.S. Rao. Maybe there are a few some more people will be joining. So maybe giving 2-3 minutes time. That 2-3 minutes time I will take to introduce Mr. K.S. Rao. And already we have sent the profile to all of you. I'm sure you would have got it. But there are people maybe joining by link, they would have not gone through. In the interest of all of you to know about the speaker with the rich experience, when we know what their profile and what their wisdom, and will be much more connect with and which more we follow. Mr. K.S. Rao is the Executive Vice President and Head Investor Education and Development at Aditya Birla Sun Life Asset Management Company Limited, and is an accomplished leader of senior management team with Aditya Birla Sun Life AMC Limited, with over 3 decades of experience in the mutual fund industry. He brought diversity, depth, and breadth of knowledge across the entire value chain of sales, distribution, marketing, strategic planning, and investor education. Such a an important investor education. And like Henry Ford says, when you stop learning, you become bold and you cannot grow. And here the SEBI, our regulatory body, insist and make everyone in the industry, be it mutual fund, be it mutual fund distributor or advisor, to do the investors awareness program to make just as of now only 4 crore or 5 crore people invested in the mutual fund, maybe 5 crore people out of 60-70 crore PAN holder and 140 crore plus people the population. So India to grow and this financial awareness, investor awareness program, that's what SEBI and AMFI they does insist all of us in the industry to do, which the Mr. K.S. Rao is doing in a big way through Aditya Birla. We as a the small player, we are trying to do what are best possible. So that we want it to 4 or 5 crore people should go to 10 to 15 crore people or beyond that, so that we can compete in the world we can become like third largest. Why not in the even the single big largest in the world. Rao's mission is to spread financial literacy in that endeavor and investor education by conceptualizing and introducing innovative programs that target various segments across geographies. He has brought to life many successful programs like Nivesh Magakum and For Air, that is an initiative to empower women, and Fauju Nivesh, initiative to empower Indian defense personnel, and FEFE, financial education for educators, educating the educators. My first paycheck for final year graduates at campus, Samruddhi Personal Finance Magazine for Vande Bharat trains, and Money Lab, among others that have empowered and impacted millions of investors across India. Rao is a member of Financial Literacy Committee of Association of Mutual Fund Industry and member of Mutual Fund Examination Committee at National Institute of Securities Market. Rao was recognized as one of the top most influential marketing financial services professional by CMO Asia for the years 2018 to 2023. 100 top most influential BFSI leaders at BFSI Congress 2019 to 2023. Associate of International Wealth Management of India recognized him as one of the top 30 India's best finance teachers in 2021. World Leadership Congress listed Mr. Rao as one of the most admired BFSI professionals in 2022-23. As a passionate advocate for financial literacy and investor education, Rao has pioneered initiatives such as Investors Hangout, Mutually Yours Podcast, Smart Selfie, and Samruddhi. He given a lot of good books today. Freely you can download around 5 good financial literacy books, which we will, at the end of the meeting, will give it to you, which you can freely download, you can use. His team has conducted over 15,000 outreach program, and he has leveraged media partnership, associations with education institutions, and many universities across India to maximize his message's impact. Under his leadership, ABSL Mutual Fund has set the standard of excellence in the mutual fund industry, winning the Asia Asset Management's best fund house in investor education and the best fund house for investor education from Outlook Pune several times in a row, to name the few. Ravi is an executive coach at ABG certified from CFI and ICF. He is an alumnus of IIM Calcutta and holds Masters in Business Administration in Finance. He is also a certified Chartered Wealth Manager from American Academy of Financial Management and holds a postgraduate diploma in Portfolio Management and International Business. Over to K.S. Rao, sir, to empower all the participants here to lead their journey of the financial freedom, very, very successful and very, very cherishable. Over to K.S. Rao, sir.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Chandrasekaran sir, and good morning to all the participants. Thank you so much for your nice introduction. Probably, it's more than that, the kind of work you do. We are one of the great admirers of you. I am glad to associate with you from the beginning. And at Aditya Birla, this is the 30th year of Aditya Birla, but CCS is just 28 years. I mean, only 2 years away. And it's a fabulous job in the wealth creation. And thanks to each one of you for joining us. And we quickly, maybe in the next 30 or 40 minutes, we will have this conversation going. Thanks for having me here. And next for 1 hour, where you are investing your time with here what is in store for the new financial year. We will run through. I have a small presentation to share. Then that could be a better way I can work with. Yeah.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Give me a minute. Yeah. Thanks once again for joining us. And indeed, I welcome you all on behalf of Aditya Birla and the ECS. And I'm so glad to be partnering with ECS, and more so my personal respect and admiration for Chandrasekaran sir. And in fact, I consider him as one of my gurus, because during my initial days of career, I used to learn a lot from him, and that association turned friendship, mentorship, and together we admire each other. And I'm so glad to see his committed team. And probably I'm sure all of you are in the safe hands. having seen my association with him is little over 30 years, and like it's 3 decades of association. Looking forward. And today's topic, when we discussed last time, Chandrasekhar and Sir were asking, this is the new financial year we are entering, and we have sometimes new goals, or sometimes like old wine in the new bottle. I mean, we get into the new goals very differently. And being with a financial planner, you always have a financial blueprint, but that blueprint sometimes need to be refreshed. What is the strategy we can adapt? And indeed, this is also a period of time we need to look things in a very different perspective. Yeah, and yeah, as I said, we just completed. We are in the three decades of in mutual fund business and for us, it's not a business. It is for us, it's a creating wealth for investors. And at Aditya Birla, everything what we do, we keep a model. It is enriching the lives, because we are here to enrich the lives. And here at asset management, we create a wealth, and all this can happen in the process of trust. It is not that come yesterday and go tomorrow. We are here. I mean, probably if India is going to be in next 2047, the Amrit Kal, and let us create that wealth for ourselves, and that wealth for all our investors. And today's topic, I thought I'll put it into 3 buckets. The first bucket is all that we are talking now is financial goals, and how you can review, what we can refresh, and what is that budget we can have. I'm not talking about the union budget. I mean, union budget again going to come back in June, and we had an interim budget in the month of February, and how we can look at our budget, how it can impact. But it's my own budget, your own budget, our own budget. What is the kind of cash flows we get, what we can anticipate. If you are not budgeting, what happens is it's the most difficult to keep a control, and your cash flows overflow. Then how it can impact, and how you can channelize those cash flows rightly. And all this can happen. You and me do not have any control what happens in the globe. None of us can influence when to stop the war at Ukraine, or when to make Israel Hamas conflict to get down, and when to make the economy differently. But what we have a control is on ourselves. Understanding our own behavior is the most important. It is not that markets makes us rich, but our mind makes us rich. All that, how we can drive our mind, and what kind of wealth mindset we can create. This is a conversation. Let us end. And any questions you have, you can put it in the chat or Q&A. We will take as many questions as possible. Though 12 is the time we mentioned, but it is not. If the questions are overflowing, we don't mind spending till your lunchtime. Doesn't matter. It is all our intention is to whatever the best we know we can share, and we can understand from each other. And this is also a period of time. Interestingly, like Great Indian Festival, normally we see in the e-commerce sites, but the Great Indian Festival of the democracy is happening. The elections, and we need to be mindful what will happen, what can happen. And this is also a period of time, not just new financial year. Last week we started with Ugadi. Tomorrow we start with the Puthandu. It's the Tamil New Year, and today is the Baishaki. Means it's a festival time for every one of us. It is a celebrations. We call it the Utsava. I mean, Utsava can only happen when you are a Utsaha. That is very you need to be happy. And every Utsavam we call festival as a Utsavam. But in any language, it's almost the same meaning it conveys. And what kind of Utsaha we can have. And then the third thing which is happening in the country today is every one of us busy in the evening, hooked to our TVs. What is happening at IPL? And enjoying the evening without any stress and looking at IPL. One side you have an Indian Premier League, other side you have an Indian political league, and this side today, I mean, thanks to Chandrasekharan sir, we have another IPL, like all Investors Prosperity League, and making every investor to prosper and get lead. Probably this IPL is for our lifetime, and we can look forward for it. And what we do, I mean, the end of it, when we are investing, I'm not talking today about just for 1 year, but per se why we invest, what we invest, and we need to have some clarity. Some of us become investors by default. Some of us become by design, because we are accompanied by one of the best financial advisor. But sometimes we have invested because there is a fund which has come where somebody has suggested something. But it's always you need to get, we go to annual medical checkup. Can we look at annual wealth checkup? And this is the day where you can go back, and probably tomorrow being Sunday, just put these questions, 3 questions, nothing more, nothing less. I mean, am I spending wisely? And am I saving enough? Am I investing rightly? These 3 questions to ponder for yourself. And it's like if I am spending, like whatever the budget I get, It is my spending decides and my saving decides, my investing decides who I am, what I am, and what I will become. Three things will happen. Whatever the money I get, either I save or I spend or I invest. Or I can do all the three with a mindfulness. That's where I call it's a wealth mindset. We can look at it. And these conversations can go on. We can get there what we intend to do. And what we should do in the beginning of the financial year. It's always sometimes it gives an opportunity. When new year comes, I mean, we always look at new goals. And some of us nowadays, we are very cautious of our health. I can see, I mean, some of you who are in Hyderabad, who are in and around Hussain Sagar Lake, you can see people on 31st December and you can see people on the 1st January. 1st January, you can see thousands of people walking around Necklace Road and wearing Adidas or Nike attire and making it happen. But unfortunately, that New Year goals will not stick for very long. And you can see by 10th of January, that thousands will become hundreds. By 14th of January, Pongal, you have a limited number of people. But Republic Day, only Buddha who is there in the lake, he looks like he is public. Rest of us are at home, and our all goals get lost. And that's the reason we thought when it is a new financial year, better don't focus on any other goal, but one goal, that is your financial goal. What is that your financial goal? That is where you need to look at whether I have become a by default, by design, I'm an investor, or I'm only a taxpayer, I'm not saving the tax. Who am I? Why I am investing? If you can look at this, the time to pause, take an introspection, and you can look for it in the things in a very differently. It is the time for us to pause. It is a time for us to review. It is a time for us to reflect. It is a time for us to refresh, and it is a time for us to prepare, and it's a time for us to proceed. This is where you can. This is what the time of the year. But what exactly happens for us? Most of us, when it comes to new financial year, and if some of our, if few of us who are the employees, invariably will look at one, I need to go back and file my tax returns. Of course, now, this morning I was reading, I mean, this year we had little over 10 crore 63 lakhs people where the TDS has deducted, and these people need to file the income tax returns. Either I look for my chartered accountant, I look at my money, and I'm just looking at my income tax return. And if I'm an employee, my HR will always give what kind of declaration I am giving, and I need to give whether I want to go for the new tax regime or stay in the old tax regime, what suits for me. All that our financial goals, unfortunately, get into the bracket of income tax return, and sometimes we look at paying income tax is a big fine, and it is income tax paying is not a fine. It's like paying tax is good for the country, saving tax is good for you, but avoiding tax is not good for any one of us. How we can methodically plan? Here is the time where you need to look, and some of us also we look what is the assets I got, what is the liabilities I got, and sometimes you have a capital gain, sometimes you have a some exemptions you need to take. This is what most of us do. But what we need to do is we need to look at a different approach. The approach is just tax is one pocket of it. Wealth management is multifaceted. It's a financial well-being, and you like it or not, the financial well-being will impact on your all other well-beings today. In the past, it used to be a mental well-being impacting everything, but now financial well-being has become more because, like somebody said very rightly. I mean, I can be rich while I'm young, but I can't become old if I am poor. Means, if the money is not there, it is as good as oxygen taken out from us. Probably life will become different. And what kind of approach we can, how we can look, the money mindset can be very different. Broadly, 4 quadrants when we are looking at our money. Simple way I look at, I mean, financial planning job is done by Chandrasekhan sir and his team and the wonderful team. But broadly, if I can look at, I put it in a simple way. I mean, simplification is the way I look at. We need to look at things because the more we complicate, it becomes complicated. And being simple is most simple, but of fact, practicing simplicity is the most complexity today. I mean, I think Vishwaguru Rabindranath Tagore said, I mean, सरल रहना जरूरी है, but सरल रहना काफी मुश्किल की काम. We need to become how we can look at very differently. All that you need to look at is 4 quadrants. Your assets and your income, and your expenses and your liability. How you can enhance your assets, how you can expand your income, how you can minimize your expenses, how you can manage your liabilities. If we can manage these 4 things rightly, I am sure we are done, and then we can move to our other budgeting part. The budgeting is normally it's an exercise of a choice, but when we all have a comment on what Nirmala madam can give a budget to us, and we don't pay our own attention at the end of the month, what kind of budget I can look for it. And then while budgeting, then what is the money you are getting, what kind of expenses you are looking at, your discretionary expenses, your non-discretionary expenses, how you can look forward for this. Then budgeting, it all starts with expenses, right? You have an income, and your short-term expense, your day-to-day living, how you can budget those. Because if you are not looking at, these are the small goals. If you are looking at only 500,000, which can go and that can become a huge money. Somebody said very nicely in Hindi, they say, like, most of the times you will not into the, I'll convey it to English. I mean, when chote chote patron say, like in small stones will hurt you more than the big mountains. The small expenses will hurt you in the big mountains, and where you need to take care how you can budget those things, and you can have a financial goals. Then you can look at those expenses. What are your deferred expenses? Then what are your needs, wants, and the dreams where you can look at. I can narrate it to you as we go forward. I mean, probably the best thing is each one of you, I presume here, I mean, more than quite a good number of people who have joined this morning, and you have invested your time. And probably while you go back home this time, if you have a fantastic, you have a financial goal, I really congratulate. And if you have already started investing, my double congratulations for it. But if you have not a goal, but you start investing, probably tomorrow being a Sunday, take little time, pause. Puthandu is a fantastic period. And tomorrow is a Vishu, tomorrow is a Puthandu. Then you can look at this new year. You can write what is your financial goal. What is that you want to accomplish, how many goals, your goals in your life. But intelligent way is, what are your goals, and what is the definite purpose for your investing, and how you are converting your financial resources. If you are not having a goal for yourself, I have a friend of mine who is one of the great advisors in Mumbai, financial advisors. He always says, like, if I do not have a financial goal, then I will work for somebody's goal. Would you like to work for somebody's financial goal or your goal? Probably look for your goal and what you can. And if you have a financial goal, that can give you a direction. And not the goal alone is sufficient, but each of these goals, what kind of a time horizons you can. Whatever investment today you have, probably if you have invested goal based, I really congratulate. If you have not invested goal based, probably go and put for each of your SIPs. This is my daughter's education. This is my son's education. This is for my retirement fund. This is for my holiday fund. This is my mobile replacement fund. It's my car upgrading fund. Whatever you put, the tag your SIP, tag your investment with the different goals, so that you don't look at a market every time, and invest for keeping the goals in mind, the financial goals in mind. And that is where you can make your life much better. And then how you need to review. This morning when we said there could be a time we need to review, as what has happened on 31st March. Probably when you are spending time with your financial advisor, and what you can have those conversations. Your financial advisor himself will provoke you for this. Your goals, what is the structure of your goals today, and what changes you need to bring in your investments. As you here, all the four asset classes have done well for us. Equity has done exceedingly well. Debt is really good, looking good. And gold is on par with equity. And real estate is also picking up in most of the markets. And international equity has done well. When everyone has done well, that is the time you need to pause. I think, the same thing will not come back or may not do. I wish it can happen. It is not like the Ugadi, you have a Panchang Shravanam, and everything looks tough, everything looks good. Neither is not true. You need to take a pause there. If you have something done great, and how you can do rebalancing of your asset allocation, that I can clarify a little later when we are looking at. And what are the assumptions you had last year, and what assumptions you can have here. What kind of goals, what kind of inflation you get, and progress towards the goal. I mean, for example, if I have my retirement fund, which has need 2.5 crores or 3 crores, in the last year, fortunately, it has given much more. Can I look past, take something and safeguard that, or can I look at differently and change in my priorities? If, for example, you want to ensure, like, you want to move to some town, you stayed here, your priorities have changed, you want to upgrade your car, now you don't want to upgrade, or you have changed it to a good house. What kind of things you just need to review financial goals? Financial goals not in terms of only money, financial goals in terms of the perspective you have for your money, how you can going to make it. And this is the best way to introspect for it, review for it. At this, you come with a wealth mindset. Wealth mindset is you need to be a prosperity consciousness, not the poverty consciousness. When I work on a prosperity consciousness, what is that I need to do? And the new year is always a time to bring that new mindset. And we have some fears, we have some greed, and this is the time markets are, time is paused, nothing to be greed. Now it need to be little pause and fear, and we need to be little, little bit cautious at this point of time. And this mindset is something of a beliefs, your habits, your behavior, which has come from various ways. For example, I belong to a family of a teachers. My father, my grandfather, my great grandfather who runs a Gurukulam. And I'm a very conservative guy. My belief is even market done exceedingly well. My allocation is Chandrasekharan sir says, sir, equity will do well, this multi-cap will do well, BAF will do well, and MAF will do well. But I will still say I can go for BAF or I can go for my more of the debt fund because my belief system is that. Because I'm very, very conservative. I don't mind making less money, but I don't mind losing a single rupee of it. And this wealth mindset, what kind of mindset you have, what changes you need to look at yourself and align this everything, every asset allocation according to your mindset. We don't want to change your mindset, but India is growing. This is the time we need to take little risk and return trade-off you need to look at. But how much risk you take it, you need to look at. Every one of us have a different personal finance. For me is a person before the finance. And for my goals are different, my mindset is different. And today we have 110, 112 people who are here. Each of us, our mindsets are different. We have 112 ways of dealing things. How you need to do, you can look at. But what you can have is positive attitude, the approach towards, what kind of wealth I can create, how I can create. I need to have that positive approach and proactive approach towards the money management. In the past, I put my money in a bank deposit. I put my money at one place. It has grown and it has given something, and that is not sufficient because today our aspirations have gone up and expenses have gone up, and we need to manage our money. If you are not managing your money, then like a lot of like you are not moving to the prosperity, you are moving to the poverty. You need to manage your money in a way which can create a wealth. When India is a growing nation, which is moving from the developing nations to the developed nation, you need to move from the status where you are. For example, India may have by 2047, 75 to 80% of us are going to be the part of the middle class. Literally BPL thing will go off. There is a below poverty line kind of things may go off. We anticipate for that. But if you are a person of a BPL, I say what the BPL is, the new generation talks to me when I talk to the youngsters, sir, buy now, pay later. Probably don't get into that buy now, pay later. Then you get into the BPL, that is a below poverty line. And whatever you are buying, if your capability, don't take the overdebts. That's a proactive approach. And money is seen as a tool to achieve your goals and desires. Money is nothing. It is a tool. It's a vehicle to make you to achieve your goals and ensure you earn more. For me, I call this as a 5 Gs of the money. Chanakya writes in his book, Ardhashastra, before you make money, you need to ensure what is your source of money. For example, I am an employee. I work with Aditya Birla. My source of money is an employment salary. I need to ensure my salary better means I need to work for Mr. Birla better, and I need to give the best of mine, then my increments can be better. As somebody is an entrepreneur skill should be better. Somebody is a farmer, his agriculture skills should be better. You work on that first. You need to get your money, you need to source of money. Then getting money is not sufficient. You need to grow your money. Because there is an inflation eats away. Then growing your money is the most important, and you need to protect your money, guard your money. I know Mr. Warren Buffett says the two principles for investing money is principle number one, never lose your money. Principle number two is never lose the principle number one. Never fall. You should always remember the principle. How you can guard your money and guard yourself, including your insurance, your protection. And the last one is you need to give back your money. Nothing you can take back. How you can give, whether you want to give it to charity, whether you are going to your children, whether you want to give it to temple, church, mosque, it is up to you. And all this 5th G, I call it, is with the grace and gratitude you can do. That is the tool where you can work towards. And this is where you can look at some lessons where you can look at the fundamentals. I look at, I don't want to focus more. Take your spending seriously. And this is a little bit of presence of mind. And time is money. The early you invest, it can give a power of compounding. Learn about how you can create a wealth. Equity is the best way to invest. And, though we say asset allocation, EDGE, equity, debt, gold, and real estate, but equity can have an outperformance. Have big goals and, big ideas and have plans for it. And your behavior makes you, whether you want to take a right call or wrong call, all that your behavior will pull you. And learn from the wise and wealthy. and like you have a great advisor who is much more wiser, and definitely that advice can become make you wealthy. And I call this is like the GDP of our wheel of GDPs. I'm not talking country's GDP, but I'm talking about our own GDP. That is your goal, your dream, and your plans. And what are your goals? Please write down. What are your dreams? And you write down. What are your plans? You write down. That can happen. And all that this wheel is, you're working for you, you're earning for yourself, for your future, for your family, and for your belongings. How you can get this wheel right, how you can get this appropriately, in every moment is a right way to look at. And this is a castle you build. This castle for me is something like it's an acronym for me. Ensure your cash flows are right, ensure your asset allocation is appropriate, have your succession planning, and ensure your tax planning. Don't pay overtax, don't pay undertax, save your tax to the best possible, and leverage it. Don't over leverage it. Managing your debt is the most important. And overload, if you take the more loans, then you will be in difficulty. And the last but not the least is the estate planning will be the most crucial part of it. And it is like Warren Buffett, who said, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. It is like this, ordinary versus extraordinary, rich versus poor. It is like the normal person can do. I earn my money, I spend my money, whatever left I invest. But the extraordinary, the rich man, the attitude of the mindset, wealthy mindset is, I earn money, I want to invest my money. What kind of asset allocation, what kind of savings I want to do. Say if I get 100,000 rupees, I want to save 20%, 20,000 rupees. I feel I earn only 80,000. Then first I invest, then later I can spend. You just only change this equation, then the entire wealth mindset can happen for us. This is a true equation where you can look at, and the normal to the rich, and this is a simple, but it's a very profound. And becoming wealthy, it is not the market. Today, index can be at 74, gold can be at 72, and your debt next year can do wonderful return. Next 2 years, debt can do much better. But all that what you need to do is, all these things are not under your control. What is under your control? In the mutual funds, for us, SIP is a jargon, SIP is a mantra. Here for me, this is another SIP. What is that you need to do is save more, and second is invest better. Saving alone is not sufficient. You need to invest it better, and that can create a wealth for you, and patience for it. It's like you just can't, like I can plant a tree, tomorrow morning it won't give the fruits. Today whatever we enjoy because of our ancestors, and have that patience. This is the way you can have a wealth mindset, becoming wealthy. And investing once won't make you rich. Like as I said, if I go one day to the gym, I can't reduce and I cannot get my six pack. And investing consistently will. And exercising one day doesn't make you fit. You need to exercise consistently for all the 12 months. And if I want to become a pandit, if I want to become an expert, reading one book one day will not. But I need to read 365 days something, then I can become. This is the way, same way wealth is created. Wealth is not in a very different way. Consistency is the key, and it will get you what you want. Whether in life or whether you are managing wealth, consistency is the key where you can look at. It is the power of compounding will make you better. And the power of compounding in personal life or the wealth management is the same thing. It is consistently over a period of time what you do. How long you invest matters all that different than all other factors. If I call Warren Buffett is today is fifth richest or fourth richest man in the world, and he got his first million at the age of 29, and the next one at the he doubled the money after 20-30 years, but is 90% of the wealth which has come after his 51 years when he started at the age of 11. 40 years of hard work and continue. You need to do that consistently, and also ensure that habits. Overspending is most dangerous part of it. How you can look at that way. And the power of compounding will work when you have a power of investing. Investing is probably the time is the most important part, and even a small money. A couple of months back, I was there in South Central Railway in Hyderabad. I was invited for one of the retirement functions of one of the senior officials at Rail India. And this man who was retiring on the day, his general manager came and gave a check to him. This is your retirement proceeds of 1.8 crores of all his retirement emoluments. But this man shown one statement of account. Small money, which is 20,000 per month over last 25 years, he started investing, which has become some 4.5 crores. He said, for this organization, I worked hard, which I got good money with a gratitude, but little money which I saved gave a great money. All that you need to do is how you can bucket that small money can create that wealth. And then you need to look at your asset allocation, like a typical our thali. I mean, you need to put all these are important. Don't overdo it. Don't overput the money into the property. Probably you may not sell, and you have seen the situation. What before state elections, what after the state elections. Similarly, same thing may happen. And you can have this edge of asset allocation, I call equity, debt, gold, and real estate. All these four, I mean, somebody says it is a it's a cockroach asset allocation. If I don't know anything, I'll put 25%, 25%, 25% everywhere. Or I can put according to my goals. And this is where you can need to have your asset allocation. And while you are doing asset allocation, there is something one asset can create a wealth for me, one asset create an income for me. I need an income, I need a wealth, how I can manage. And mutual funds are the best way. You can invest in any assets mutual funds can do. You want to invest in gold, I have a gold ETF or gold passive funds, gold index funds. You want to invest in real estates, we have a REITs. You want to invest in the debt, we have a debt funds. You want to invest in equity, we have various of equity funds. And you can just join into the mutual fund bank. And mutual funds are your mutual friends to create your asset allocation right and your wealth right and create the wealth for you. And this is an industry now completing 60 years this year. We are completing 30 years. Today we manage little over. Mutual fund industry is having around 54 lakhs of lakh crores of money, and which we are looking at 100 trillion in another 4 to 5 years to come in. And because this is the where you can you can focus on your job, and we can focus on your wealth. You can just outsource to mutual funds, and mutual funds can go there. And but today I can just emphasize why asset allocation is most important. Asset allocation is like a seat belt. It just don't, your car don't need to crash, but you need to safeguard yourself. And you during the bull run, you need to be safeguard yourself more. In fact, I was taking some data from Hyderabad, the ORR guys. It seems ORR has increased the speed limit from 100 to 120. I was told accidents have become 4x. Just 20-kilometer speed has given 4x of accidents. And this is the time when market is at a peak and every asset class has done well. You need to ensure your asset allocation. Don't overgreed, don't over, and probably listen to your advisor. Have that patience. I mean, during the good times, we are blind to the, we are deaf to the risks. During the bad times, we are blind to the opportunities. And this is the time you need to be much more careful. And it is a time for you to get that rebalancing right. Whether, which of the asset allocations, understand your own risk, understanding your own return. New year is a time where you can look and you can retry everything and plan your finances in such a way with your goals, prioritizing your goals and have that financial plan. Have, annual review is fine. Probably, you can also do half yearly review. And the most important is your investment planning. Second important is your debt planning. Are you paying for your loans more? Are your liabilities are going up? And ensure your insurance is at right place. Have you insured rightly, whether it's your health or your life insurance or your other general insurance. Just looking at, and all that you need to do is where you can save little more extra, or this is a period of time. Some of us, we will get into your variable pays, bonus pays, and this is the time you get extra increments. Can you channelize your extra increment into the extra incremental SIP? Can you enhance your SIP? All that, if India is going to prosper, I need to be prosper. I need to stay invested. If I stay where I am, if I am not investing, India is prospering, but I am not prospering. Probably I am making India to degrow. This is the time where I need to look. My financial planning can be very different. And financial planning can end up the mind. It need to give the peace of mind. I am investing my money not to lose the sleep. I'm investing my money to get that peace of mind. Day before yesterday, I was talking to a professor, a vice chancellor at one of the universities. A student in his college has committed suicide, and he is the guy who is invested. He don't know anything. Some of the money he borrowed from the friends, and some 32 lakh rupees he has lost in F&O markets. These are the markets not meant for you. And just be don't greedy. Invest in mutual funds with an understanding. And these are the like weapons for you not to be. Don't go greedy, and understand. You invest in only what you understand. I was telling these students when I was there, if you don't know anything and you start investing, if I don't know how to drive my car and I take it to the ORR or I took it to the super highway, I'm sure I'm not only injuring myself, I'm injuring somebody else too. And you need to get there and don't enter there. And you're just simple lines I can say. You're managing your money to accomplish your goals, get your peace of mind. End of the life, you have your fulfillment, and you leave the legacy and you leave the wealth, and you are a joyful and happy man or woman there. And this is where you need to look at reflect it. And and the second is we always depend on one income, which is coming from your salary or business, and make your investment as a second income, which can make your life much more better, much more comfortable. And financial freedom can only happen your investment income is over like higher than your other expenses. Where you can look at, and this is where I look at financial freedom. Why we need to look at all of us is financial independence, financial freedom. If India is going to celebrate its 100th years of Independence Day 2047, we need to celebrate our financial freedom even by this Independence Day, our next Independence Day, how you can look at. And this financial freedom is the one where you can look, you can plan for it. All that it can give you, if you have the financial freedom. I have a colleague of mine who is just 38 years. He accomplished financial freedom, and he says, that is, last week I was doing my appraisal for him. Financial, our annual appraisal, so we'll have a conversations, what went right, what went wrong. I was narrating to him, but in spite I can't give you, you are just accomplished. Sir, increment के लिए मेरे लिए चिंता नहीं है सर, मेरा जीवन में सब कुछ है. I made enough money, but I want to have the joy of working. This is the financial freedom. Financial freedom gives you what you want, where you want, when you want, with whom you want. You can spend your time, spend your life without even looking at how much money you need for it. It is like, you just want to get there. And second is understanding your own risk is the most important. And we understand risk in a very differently. Sometimes we say stock market is very risky. Yes, if you are investing in the short term. But if you are not investing in the stock market for the long term, that you are entering into the risky part. You use the appropriate vehicles for appropriate things. And you are at your home to your supermarket, you go by bicycle. Your home to your airport, you go by car. From airport to your distance, you use that. For short term, you can't use the flight, and long you cannot use your bicycle. And you don't reverse it while it is coming to the investments. Sometimes which is short-term risky, sometimes what is long-term risky. Just understands this mathematics, and it is a continuous education is the most important part. And the biggest money is it's always made not in buying or selling, but in the waiting. This is what Charles Munger, whom we lost at the age of 99, who is an associate of Mr. Warren Buffett. This is an advice: the patience pays for all of us. Invest and have a patience. And return of investments, not just mutual funds. When you are doing your annual review, probably one investment is one part of it. And wealth money can't buy. There is a fantastic book which has just come from Mr. Robin Sharma. It's which talks about many things. All that important is invest, debt, invest in equity, and can invest in your own education. But invest in your relations, invest in your mental health. Because if you are not investing tomorrow for the sake of health, you're worked for the wealth and you're not focused on the health, then your health is lost, your wealth is lost. Ensure that you have your bond, investments in the bonds, investments in the equity, but have your bonding with your family members, bond with yourself. And your self education is the most important. Things are changing much faster, and we are in the world of artificial intelligence. Everything can change tomorrow morning. Am I ready for it? Have you got your emergency fund? It is like look at your contingency fund is right, and you can get there. And it's like somebody said very nicely, salary is created at work, but wealth is created at home. Make that home is a wealthy home. When you have these relations, when you are focused on your health, where you are spending your time, this is the primary purpose of it. And ensure that your family is part of your whole game. You just don't take your own investment decisions. And for me, life is living in financial empowerment, LIFE. But if you are not living in financial empowerment, LIFE will become living in financial entanglement. You overborrow, you overspend, you overindulge. And this could be a joint decision from the family. Each of us in the family can take ownership, and that can involve the family further. And all the documents, day before yesterday, I was talking to someone. This guy is in United States. He suddenly he was into depression when crypto has come down. He invested heavily in crypto. Now crypto has come back for him, but he want to redeem, and he forgot all his passwords and his system got crashed. Imagine a situation when you are not having physically the documents. And this is where we are also, after some time, Chandrasekharan sir will share you a link organizing your financial life. You can write down whatever including Mr. Chandrasekharan's number. So if I'm not there tomorrow, my spouse can connect to Mr. Chandrasekharan and ask what it is. And your budget, your expenses, family activity. Keep this as a family activity. Can you do once in a month a family dating for your finances? Any case you enjoy your meal, enjoy this can be a lifetime meal for you. And then certain things which you have an influence, certain things which you don't have an influence. What your influence, you can control that. You can take this goal, this financial year reviewing. I'll create my emergency fund, the first thing. I will annually review my health and life insurance. I will have my SIP. I'll increase my SIP. I'll do STP. I'll invest in equity for the long term. I won't attempt to time the market. And, then, I won't make investments which I don't understand. I can invest only what is regulated. I'll stick to my investment plan. I will not change it overnight for a reason. There is impulsive buying should not happen. I will set my goals sitting with the family so that it will be lasting. All that last is ensure that all your records have written and keep that, and also write your will. And that's the most important part. Today there is a new norms have come for the KYC. Talk to your advisor, then have you completed that? Your KYC is verified and your will is ready. Have you done that? And this is a wealth creation can happen over a period of time, not overnight. You have monthly budgets, it starts, have a good financial coach, manage your debt, and then you can move on, focus on your long-term goal. That's where you can create wealth. I think this is the time to you can review. And somebody other day, when somebody heard the Panchanga Shravanam, he came back and said, I mean, somebody's expenses are very high and the income is adaya vyayam, they call it kandaya. And then one side somebody got expenses very high and the income is lesser. Somebody's income is high, expenditure lesser. But this guy will overspend, this guy will overborrow. But one wise man has come to me and said, this he put all the table for all that 12 rashis, and he put it this year in India. There is a 96 is the income and 108 is the spending when you totaled it. And he said most of the people are going to spend more, means consumption economy will do, and I will put a lot of my money in consumption stocks. This is the way India can grow. You can just look at what is a wealth creation, what you see a tree upward, what is a seeds downward, where you need to nurture every day. You can have your mindset, you have your patience, have your clear goals. Your roots are into a very different way. Spending, tracking, investing rightly, and getting a right financial advice. That's the most important part. You need to pay for the wrong advice. Next week, we are going to celebrate Sri Ram Navami. Sri Ram Navami, while you are celebrating, there is a there is always get choosing the right advisor is the most important. One message can come from Ramayana, because the Kaikeyi got a advisor called Mandhara, and who gave a wrong advice where Rama has to go to the forest. And don't get that advice. Get a right advice, like in Mahabharata, like Pandavas got a Krishna who can make you to win the world and win the war. And that's the financial advice can make that wealth creation can happen for you. And India is into the Amritkal period, and you need to get that Amritkal to stay invested in India. And this is the time to put your money into the India, and India is going to be the market, and India is going to make rich, and India's GDP is projected and expected to grow in a much bigger way. Like as the market, GDP will grow and the market capitalization will go. Today we are almost at 4 trillion GDP and market capitalization is 4 trillion. And by 2047, it will become 3 to 4x of it. Means whatever the money you stay invested, it will only multiply. Just ensure that next 2 decades, if it's going to be, you can get there rightly. And anything on the mutual funds, every mutual fund house, including Aditya Birla, we have our own websites where we can create any complaints, anything you have. Otherwise, SEBI got a fantastic systems.stores.gov.in. You can get there. You have a fantastic regulator. And this is a part of my invest education. I'm coming so that you need all the disclaimers I can say is whatever I say, please get doubly checked, and whatever it's your money, and whatever the risk you are taking, it is up to you. I mean, you need to read, you need to continuously educate. I can only, before summing up, I can say review and reset your goals, and your budget this year, because there is elections, and also you have a holiday season, and don't go, I mean, what is that expenditure you are looking at, and investing, and update all your investment portfolios. This is the time to reflect. And when children are in school, when they are off, then this summer you can look at, and look at your emergency fund, how much you need, to look at your retirement planning. You review that where you are looking at your retirement. And then you can go for your debt management, your loan management. Have you over borrowed? Then you can, or which is the loan where you are paying higher income, how you can reduce it. And you can ensure your insurance is updated, and ensure your credit score is appropriate, because that's going to design your future in a better way. And continuous education is the most important, whether it's a financial world or real world. And the professional advisor advice is the most important bottom line. If you got a right coach, you can accomplish anything. Like if you can look at Indian cricket, when it is winning, all the time it is win, it is because of the right coach. The team remains the same, but coach can make a different play. That's where you need to look at. And this is a period of time you should have your GPS set. That GPS for me is get, proceed, and succeed. And that GPS for me is have a continuous growth, look for the profitability, and your growth and profitability should be a sustainable. That could be your GPS. And ECS for me is always like, ECS is empowering his clients to secure, empowering clients to secure and empower customers to succeed. This is the ECS which works for it always. And do something very nicely. Happy new financial year. I think my time stops here. And thank you so much for the time, and wishing you happy Puttandu, happy Vaisakhi, happy Visu, and all the good luck to you. Thank you so much. Sir, you're
Yeah. Are you hearing me, Khan?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, K.S. Rao, sir. Excellent, examples from GDP to SIP to easiest, empowering customers to succeed. Excellent, really presentation, and very timely, covering about, today market varieties and how really multi assets, can make you secure and succeed. Really, very excellent presentation. Really, we are very happy. And I request, the participants here to hear from the horse mouth, veteran, like wisdom. So any of your questions to get, clarified and answered. And before, your question, Sir said, India really going to touch 20 trillion. It's India's time, Amritkal time. So also he spoke about education and all. So mathematics, maths for the children, right from the dealing for children or ourselves, from daily life, how we use the maths for the calculation or giving and taking the change. And today I spoke about artificial intelligence or machine learning for everywhere. The mathematics without which you can't do the daily life, managing. Or today, the AI, which really over empower us, HI, human intelligence. So you need to have that, the mathematics to the extent to compute or AI to use or daily life to live. The same way, the equity coming to the point to make your money to grow. It's good to know your fixed deposit, your postal scheme, your next, the street, your the post office, which is very secured, which you can forget, you can put in, you can forget. But the inflation will not make you to sleep. Because unless until you want to really make your inflation to get beaten up, and as Sir said, goal to achieve, and you need to have that equity portion in your investment. How much is it you're going to be 50% equity, 70% equity, or 100% equity, or only 10% equity? So it's all depending on your profile and your understanding, for which we are there. That's why we bring in every month, second Saturday, this empowerment program through the wisdom, which having people who can share the 30 years, 40 years of experience in just 40 to 45 minutes, and through which you can form your own, the ideas and the thoughts to build your the financial successful path and financial freedom, for which we are always there with you every day in, day out. Whether you may be busy with your earnings and monthly salaries, we are here to remind you this is a good product has come, or this need to be done. The market knows your portfolio has gone beyond 15% we aimed at, but today it's around 25% or 40%. So we need to level it, you need to make it, balance it. Coming to debt, as Sir said, the debt market is going to do well for coming 2-3 years. Being the market is at peak, when interest rate slowly comes down, and the debt market will do well. So all the time, all the things cannot do well. So it's as Yugadi Pachadi, says, all together you make enjoying that, the Yugadi Pachadi. So that's a way, debt, gold, equity, and so fixed income, your fixed deposits or bonds, all together make it. So please consider you participate in India's prosperity. I'm sure you're already participating, but participate in more bigger way and bring in more and more your neighbors, your friends and families, and make the festival of the India, which is going to be lost for 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, so that they can enjoy. Over to all of you, please, you can have your questions placed for our case.
Sir, in the meanwhile, somebody can post in the links where they can download the books, I think. Where we are also doing, while people are asking any questions. Any questions, you can put it on the screen.
please Telugu or Tamil or English, anything okay. Sir knows all the languages of Hindi, so he go across the India. So
Bit of
he's
Bengali is
my-
also fine.
that is-
Yeah, there are very interesting questions which are coming in.
Can I ask a question, sir?
Yeah,
Can I ask a question?
please, please.
I am Dr. N. Shobharani, and Satish, who is there with the ECS, has been helping me with my investments. And I am very thankful to you that you have given a wonderful presentation, Mr. Rao Garu.
Thank you so
I'm-
much.
Yeah, I'm audible.
You are audible, ma'am.
Yes, so it's a wonderful presentation. And then, as you rightly pointed out, I have been in the central government service with a typical government type of thinking that, and we just want more peace of mind and then completely risk free. Yes, and then what you have, because I am such a novice, though we did, Satish has been doing wonderful service to me, and then we do have a little bit of investments here and there, like you said, LIC and then bank and etc. etc. But always I never understand, and then for people like us, I think in few minutes you please tell us what exactly is this mutual fund. And whenever they say that it is subject to the market fluctuations and the risks, and then we are unable to understand and then unable to take any decision on that. So whether you could little bit, 2 or 3 minutes, whether you can explain to us, and then whether we should really go in for it or better we stay where we are, and then whatever little wealth is created, we are satisfied with that. Okay, please. Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. Thanks for all your compliments. I really congratulate and compliment for the nice question too. And this is a question most of us used to face in the past. This is I mean, as per the regulatory things, we say mutual funds are subject to market risk, and it is also true. We all need to understand that market risk. And like as I put in one of the slides, what are the risk and return wise, what is safe in the short term, what is safe in the long term, and what is risk in the long term, and if I can do vice versa. And there is a period that, like, probably when you started your career and now, if I can say 2 decades, in the last 2 decades or so, things have changed much faster. There is nothing called a safe harbor, and we need to take certain risks. And and this risk is and I can also say the risk is not a risk actually. For example, if I'm investing for a very long term in equity, when India is growing, and it is you are participating in India's growth story, you are participating in the companies which are adding value, means you are creating a wealth, you are partnering that wealth. At the same time, I can't put my entire money into one basket. I put it in multiples. As Mr. Chandrasekharan has said, it's a multi-assets. Like, I can put in multi-assets so that I'm taking my risk is minimized. I mean, over a period of time, my risk is reduced, and my debt can give you. For example, today we put the money in the debt, or I can put the money in the bank deposits, and probably debt can give me a little better return than the bank deposit, because bank deposit and the taxation angle also, I get little extra benefit of it, and the comfort of investing. And mutual funds is nothing but mutual fund is a simple vehicle. Whatever you are investing, one of my super bosses used to put this in a very nice anecdote. Mutual fund is a fund which can help the people for everyone 0 year to the year you are living the life. For only it is not helping the people who are unborn and dead and gone. Because if I can put my money for one day, even if I have a 1 day money, I put my money into the overnight funds. If I have money for 1 month, I put in the liquid funds or money market funds. I have a 3 years, then 3 year deposit kind of a short duration fund. 3 to 5 years I have a mid. Means depending on your, there is a little risk, no doubt. Even bank deposits having a risk. I'll tell you what kind of risk bank deposit is. A friend of mine who stays in Australia, his father is a retired bank officer who is settled in Pondicherry. And this uncle, when I go and meet him, he's invested entire his money, his retirement proceeds into the bank which he was working in. And I used to meet him in 2014, and at the time he used to get say 1,50,000 rupees from his bank interest. And over a period, interest rates have come. His 1,50,000 is monthly expenditure, and that is meeting it. And over a period, is 1,50,000 interest has come down to 1 lakh, and then it has come down to 80,000 per month, and he need to draw from 70,000 from his corpus. then what is he felt safe is become a risky for him because he has eaten into his capital. That is the time when I went to him. I said, we will have this 3 bucket system. Your 5 years money, you put it here, 5 to 10 years money, you put it here, and 10 years and above money, you put it here. Now he's comfortably managing better, very nice advice. Now I get little over 2 lakh rupees on your total portfolio. That's the kind, this is a risk we need to understand and risk we need to take. Don't take over risk. Probably some of the wise people like Chandrasekharan sir, I think, there cannot be any mis-selling. I mean, they look at client as their prima facie, and they are in the business for 28 years, and service is a motto. And a lot of work he does on the charity side. I can see what kind of human being he is and what kind of a great personality he is. I think this is where mutual funds work. And we have a couple of books available, madam, which we'll download. You can download little later, which can give in a synopsis of.
Yeah, yes, sir. We are putting in the download so they can have it.
And hope I could clarify. If it is not, we can do separate. In a short time, I cannot done more. And thank you so much for your question. While I can also take some questions which have come in the chat section. And thanks for all the compliments, Mr. Vinod, Mr. Madhukumar, and Vinod. Thanks for the compliment. But at the same time, you asked for which particular fund you recommend. Probably I don't recommend any fund, because what I recommend may or may not be suitable to you. Each of us are very different. Sit with your advisor, why you are investing, how long you are investing, what is suitable for you. It is better. I can't go to pharmacy shop and show my face, give me the medicine. He will ask me, go to your doctor and prescription, and then I can give the medicine. That's the way which cannot become harm. And second, how do you foresee my company? I mean, we are in the mutual fund business, and I'm not talking about the company. My company is a listed company. I am not supposed to speak how to give a projection, but we believe in the values. I said we are in the business of wealth creation by inspiring the trust. Our whole mission is enriching the lives of the people, not the balance sheet of us. That way, if India is growing, we will also grow definitely. And if we are in the momentum of the growth. And thanks, Ms. Anuradha Ganesh, for your compliments, and thanks for giving all the compliments. Thanks for joining us. I think Ganesh Anuradha. Thank you so much. And throw some light on gold as an investment, Kathir. Gold as an investment, part of asset allocation is very much important. We always used to say at least 10 to 15% of your asset allocation can go to the gold. Gold is one asset class. When there is a crisis, gold can grow much better. Today, world in a geopolitical tension, there is a crisis. Central banks are buying the gold. That is the reason gold prices are going up. Whether it will go continuously up, we can't say. It will also correct. But gold over a period, it can help you to balance it. Don't overput it, but 10 to 15% of your asset allocation are as desired by your financial advisor after your conversations. You can always put the gold, but gold not in the form of ornament. Gold is not in the form of physical. Gold in the form of electronic can help you to utilize that benefit. And Mr. Vinod, your question, gold comes down, I mean, stock market will go up. Yeah, it's like, correlation happens. But if I can look at over the last 50 years of study, I mean, I was just looking at every 10 years of time, gold is more or less following the equity, because world is in crisis. Gold is a safe bet to put in. Like, when people presume that dollar is going to correct, then gold is going to go up. There is going to be a war, gold is going. Gold is some kind of a safe reserve. That's where it can look at. And thanks, Mr. Jayaprakash, for your compliments. Nice of you. And what else? Then what are the other questions? Saiduluji, thank you so much. And thanks. I think I've taken all the questions on the charts. Any other question? We are open or over to Chandrasekharan sir?
Thank you very much, K.S. Rao sir. Thank you very much, all of the participants, my investors and teammates, and my festival greetings to all of you from Yugadi to Ramadan to Tamil New Year to so Vishu and Baisakhi. We, as a responsible financial service provider, with all your support, we continued our journey for 28 years. We like to continue for not only Golden Jubilee, even centenary celebration as a company, as an organization. We will take all the care and leaving up to each and everyone what you want. So that's why we have around the 90 plus member team. Each and everyone can understand what really you want, what is your profile, how much risk you can take. Accordingly, we suit the appropriate product and will make you to really have the smooth and financial successful journey. On behalf of all of you here, we like to present our K.S. Rao Garu, and it's a sustainability, which has been wrote by Rajiv Peshwaria. It's a really excellent, the book which I attended that session, Read and Grow, which really Kesara sir, you're doing wonderful job making Kumbh to the class, to the masses. You continue to do and continue to create a process in such a way the sustainability will be sustainable for decades to come and centuries to come. Thank you very much with respecting the time to all of you. We always maintain the time, not only in the beginning and also closing the meeting. So we already 4 minutes or 5 minutes we have passed already. So thank you very much, K.S. Rao sir, on behalf of my entire team, entire my investors. Thank you, Srikanth. Thank you, Rajendra, who made us to. And
Thank you, sir.
we will really, sir, your books, whichever you have sent, we will share with our the participants today, and even all the investors who could not participate because of their other schedule, through our newsletter and through emails, and will make sure your really vision of the more and more people to get empowered, so that ECS stands for empowering customers to succeed. Thank you very much, all of you, and we end the meeting. Thank you, K.S. Rao sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Happy New Year, Happy Puthandu, and Happy Ram Navami, and Happy Ramadan. Just to
Come, we can end the meeting.